Okay, here's notes for today, September the 8th. And we're going to talk about parent functions today. So copy these in your notes. There's 6 different ones I want to go over. And the first parent function is just the constant function. And that's y equals some number. So I put 2 on here, y equals 2 and y equals -1. It's just a horizontal line. And the second one is your linear functions. That's where you have y equals x. And your highest exponent of x is 1. So that's a linear function. And so I got y equals x is the green one, y equals -x is the red one. Those both have a slope of, or y equals x has a slope of 1, y equals -x has a slope of -1. And then the third one is your quadratic function. That's when you have your highest exponent of x is 2. And y equals x squared, the green one, that's opening up. And y equals -x squared, the red one, it's opening down. Then you have your cubic function. Y equals x cubed is the green one, y equals -x cubed is the red one. And then you have your absolute value function. Looks like it's almost like a quadratic, but it's a V instead of a U shape. Positive absolute value of x is opening up, and negative absolute value of x is opening down. And then your square root function, y equals the square root of x. The green one is the positive one, the red one's the negative one. Alright, those are your 6 parent functions. So get those copied in your notes. Okay, here's your study guide for your next test. We'll plan on having this test on the 15th, Wednesday the 15th. I'll be back at school on the 14th to make sure if there's any misunderstandings on this study guide. We'll go over it then. And I'll also post another video going over this study guide tomorrow. There's 6 parts. The first 3 parts have to do with this graph. So make sure you copy the graph exactly the way you see it. The first part, you need to answer or find the 10 things, starting with domain. So find those 10 things on the first part. Domain, range, positive intervals, negative intervals, where does it increase, where does it decrease? Does it have a maximum value, a minimum value? What are the zeros, or where does it cross the x-axis? That's what the zeros are. And the y-intercept, where does it cross the y-axis? The second part, I want you to find these function values based on that graph. F of -4, f of -2, f of 0, f of 3, and f of 5. And then number 3, find the average rate of change from these intervals. And then the fourth part is using this function, f of x equals x squared minus 3x plus 7. We're going to find the average rate of change from these 2 intervals. The fifth part, we are sketching parent functions, so it doesn't have to be a perfect sketch. I did the first one for you. just out beside it, just do a little sketch of what it looks like. So you'll have to have these memorized, what they look like. And this goes from A to L. So it's 6 parent functions, but there's positive and negative parent functions. So you'll just do a sketch out beside those. The 6th part of your study guide is just matching. You'll just match the correct number to each letter that it represents. So you got 6 parent functions. Draw a line to its correct description. And then the last part of your study guide is a piecewise function. And so there's 3 different functions. It's 2x plus 3 if x is less than or equal to 5, x cubed if x is between 5 and 10, and 2x squared minus 1 if x is greater than or equal to 10. So you'll find these 5 function values for the last part of your study guide.